Right, in this video, I want to talk to you about engineering your own authority. So, this little guy here with all the arrows pointing to him and a little smile on his face says, I'm super cool. And this is one of the cool things that you can do with the power of SEO. So, there's lots of different ways to make money online, offline. And the way that I've made most of my money in the last decade has been through affiliate marketing and specifically using SEO or organic traffic, mostly through Google and YouTube as the traffic source. And initially, the goal number one is use a full-time thing or make this kind of a cushy side hustle hobby money, or to transition from their 9 to 5 job to make this full time, is to obviously make money with affiliate commissions or promoting their own products and services and things like that. That's one way that you can use it. But another way, and a really cool way that I like about SEO, that's kind of a little more subtle, in addition to just using it to make money, is to engineer your own authority. And why I like it, as opposed to some of the more like traditional or more like currently mainstream methods for advertising your whatever it is you're trying to promote, whether it be your business or promoting something as an affiliate, and trying to position yourself as authority, as like maybe like a paid ad. It could be on Facebook, it could be a YouTube video, a billboard, any kind of, or um, newspaper or something. Uh, those are traditional ways of like advertising yourself as an authority and saying like, I'm the best or whatever. We're the best voted whatever restaurant or real estate agent or something. Those are traditional ways of going about like projecting that narrative out there and getting people to see you as an expert and or an authority. But why I really like SEO, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples here in a minute, why I like SEO as a means to engineer your own authority, is it's a lot more subtle, but in my opinion, way more powerful, because there's two types of marketing out there. And I may make a separate video, like I'm getting ideas, I'm about to say this, but these are things I've talked about before in the past with my students and my audience. But there's two main types of advertising out there, or marketing. There is interruption marketing, which is like all paid ads. You going on Facebook, you're going on YouTube to watch a video, or to on Facebook to like see what someone else posted, or be in a part of a group or something, and you get interrupted, right? It's not those platforms typically to watch ads, like um, that's people are there, people are congregating their opportunity to interrupt their whatever they're doing to put your message in front of them. And then there is intent based, which marketing, which is what I prefer, because you don't have to do as much selling. It's just that people are searching for what it is you have to offer. And if you can kind of intercept them through that intent based marketing, it's a lot more powerful, in my opinion, because you have to do a lot less convincing, because they're already sold, or they're curious, uh, and for the thing that like they're searching for an answer to something that they're looking to solve. And then if you intercept them with your piece of content, you can just it's way easier to suggest to them that, hey, I'm this expert in this thing that you're already searching for. You don't have to like convince them to be aware that this thing is like awesome, or whatever. And so I'm going to show you some examples here. So this is one that I did a couple of years ago. It's pretty way simpler than I thought it was going to be, but this was just for fun. But this is just something that I could use for bragging rights, and I was able to use this for like, it took me a couple of weeks, I think, to implement this successfully. And this was like, I think, the spring of 2018 or 2019, and the result of that little bit of effort allowed me to leverage these results for 2+ years. So very little time, money, input, and the results. I could just kind of share this just as a fun thing for many years. And if I wanted to keep it going, then I could, do whatever it took to keep it in this position, but I ranked myself, since I was in Austin, Texas at the time, I ranked myself for 6th man in Austin, and my goal at the time was to rank my images for this particular term, because at that time Google was giving priority to images, and so I just wanted to rank my image, but the byproduct of that was the pages that I use, and this is kind of technical, but the pages that I use to backlink or point to these images to get them ranked, those pages ranked as well. So basically, the result was, not only did I get my images ranked, and I wanted to dominate the first page. I didn't just want one image. I wanted as many images that could fill the first page as possible. So you can see at this time I took the screenshot, and this was taken in incognito. So that was, those searches aren't like influenced by my previous browser history. So that I want to show that as proof. And so I've got the first 3 spots, and then as a result, it had this little snippet, like the best, my name, the best looking guy in Austin, Texas is me. He's by far the sexiest man. I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, I guess I did post that in 2018. So, and this was taken in 2020. So pretty cool. And as a result, a lot, like I was positioned like 8 out of 10 positions as well. So like I just covered the whole first page. Now, is anybody really searching for this term? Probably not. There was one other guy that does SEO that was actually on page 1 before me, that I guess you could call him competition. But again, no one's really, trying to rank and maintain their ranking position for this, but this was just like for kicks and giggles for me. But just to show that, like, whatever silly phrase you come up with, you can use SEO for that, or some not so silly phrases. So like if you want to be the sexiest realtor in Austin, or the best dressed whatever realtor in Austin, and use that in your marketing, so that when maybe you put that on a billboard, and when people Google search it, they're like, oh wow, like they weren't lying, they're actually ranking for this stuff. And you can substitute this phrase for anything else you want to be known for, or have your business be known for, like best whatever plumbing service in Austin, Texas, or whatever. That would be, that would come in pretty handy if you're a small local business. So that's one example. Another example, this is with a YouTube video, and just share this to show you something, another piece of organic content that you could push up and rank. And I'm showing you this screenshot just for like full transparency, to show you that, like, hey, this is something I tinkered with, it worked, and it dropped just because I didn't maintain it. Like if I wanted to push it up back to this, I could, but this was the result of the effort that I did. And this is how long that tiny bit of effort that I put in to get it to, like, not necessarily number 1 spot, but it was at 1 for a long time. But within the top 10 spots, it kind of bounced back and forth with no extra effort from me, and it stayed here from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months for this teeny bit of effort. So just to show the longevity of the effort, this is where it started out basically, and then boom, it just shot right to the top with what I did to get it there. And then I love the longevity of SEO, and it's here now, it's starting to kind of pop up and bounce around and stuff, but it wouldn't take very much time or resources, whatever, to shoot it right back up. I just let this little experiment die. But I ranked a video of mine for affiliate marketing course, which is more of a generic term. It's more like top of level funnel for people that are looking for affiliate marketing courses and may not be product aware of, like, my course name, SEO affiliate domination. So that's another example. And then this is something I came across recently. The piece of content I wanted to share with you isn't on page 1 currently, or at least not through my browsing history or whatever, but there is a coin in Texas that recently came out called crypto blockchain stuff, called like Texas coin. And it used to be, a couple of weeks ago, it was on page 1. I had to search a little bit farther and saw that, I think, well, it was on, there it is, page 3. for me today. But why I'm showing this to you is it's another property. This is called Parasite SEO, where you're piggybacking off the authority of a site that has authority, and yeah, I guess authority is the best way. Authority, and not just in the domain ranking, but authority in the name itself, since Amazon is like a trusted authority for people to buy things on. So what this dude did is he created a Kindle book for this Texas coin. There's not a lot of probably searches for it right now since it's still relatively new. And what he's able to do is potentially capture some of this Texas coin traffic. People that are curious about it are gonna, find this not because he's necessarily the best marketer in this case, but he's just optimizing the title of his book for the main search term, which is this coin itself. And people are gonna find this, and he'll probably make some sales literally just from being in the right place at the right time with very little effort on his part other than putting together this book, which now we have AI, so you don't even really have to write it. You can just kind of give it some prompts. Say you're like looking to write a 10 to 30 page book or 100-page book about Texas coin, have ChatGPT go do some deep research and then crank out a book for you. Literally upload it for free, start making some, or just have it sitting there, and it's either going to make money or not. But you're probably going to have, just by the fact that if this coin gets traction there, you'll probably just make some organic sales just by literally being there. And if you repeat that process again and again and again, then you can start to stack up some passive recurring streams of income. So those are, and again, this is for a coin, a crypto blockchain or whatever. But you can start to build a name for yourself if you want to become an authority in certain niches. You can create books with the main keyword and the title of the book, or if book is like, well, I don't know how to write book, just ebook or whatever, Kindle. And then now with just a click of a button, you can even convert those books into physical uh, copies, printed copies, and even, this is a kind of a newer program, but it's probably more rolled out now than it was just a couple months ago, that you can even like click another button and like transcribe it into like a audio book on Audible. So you can have 3 potential income streams for each piece of content that you upload to Amazon, which is really cool. You can do that over and over again. So those are just a couple different ways. I just want to show you some proof so you can visualize it, how you can engineer your own authority. And that's in addition, again, to just the main way or the basic way of using search traffic to optimize your content for particular products and services that have affiliate programs. They're going to pay you an affiliate commission or some sort of a financial kickback in exchange for recommending and referring people to their products and services. So just want to shoot this video to share some other ways that you can use SEO. It's got a lot of different use cases. It doesn't just have to be for making money, but by using it, if you chose to use it to engineer your own authority, that authority can then be leveraged to pull in money. So like if you're ranking for a book, for instance, I think there's an option to sell your book for free or whatever, list it for free. So you can, or 99 cents jump. So while you may not make lots of money, if you capture a lot of traffic from like TechSet or something, or something that just had a lot of traffic and people are curious, but there's not a lot of competition or content out there about that particular topic on a platform like Amazon, then you can position yourself as an expert and then have some calls to action in the book itself to either join your email list or purchase affiliate products or purchase your own products that you're hosting on like Kajabi or Gumroad or some of these other platforms. Join your school community, whatever, sign up to be on your notification list for if you're going to launch a live event or something that might be like high ticket or mid ticket or something. There's lots of different ways that you can leverage search traffic in order to engineer your own authority. And again, that authority can be converted into cash. So it may not be direct, but it could indirectly lead to sales and money in your pocket. So really cool things that you can do with SEO. And what I like about it is like you don't have to necessarily be loud and out there broadcasting yourself like I'm doing, kind of right now with this, with a video and like showing your face. You can kind of be faceless and really step in front of a lot of traffic out there on, popular topics like, one that I know has a lot of traffic and like people are really like that I'm not really into is like all the e-game stuff and streaming and all that stuff. So there's a lot of money in that niche out there. So if you want to step in front of it or like, combine your love for that with this skill and kind of overlap this skill with that niche, you can step in front of a lot of traffic. And I would bet that there's very few gamers who like to stream and things like that that are also leveraging SEO and really, leveraging it and maximizing that to suck in people to their audience and stuff. So that's one angle, one edge you can have over some of the other people that are just getting started in that niche or whatever. But there's just so many different angles and directions you can go with the same set of skills and just so many different ways you can leverage it. So if you're looking for a little more like how to and fundamentals and directions for how to do that, you can check out my course, SEO Affiliate Domination. I've been doing this for well over a decade, almost close to 2 decades now, teaching it for almost a decade. And then, these are some of the results I've gotten over the last couple of years. These are some students of mine that have gotten results with the same information, the same recipe that I teach inside. And so I've got so many testimonials at this point that I know that this can work for you, or even if you just want to implement like or take a portion of what you learn. You don't have to use everything you learn in here. Just you may learn one new thing that will be a tweak to your current process or your current what you currently know and have consumed about SEO and affiliate marketing in the past, and that may be all it takes for you to like 10, 100, 1,000x your investment on this. So this is what I use to go from not much of making hardly anything to something, and then also from something to something quite considerable, so 5 figures a month consistently. That's been for years and years and years now. So if this can work for me, I know it can work for you. And I can say that confidently now because I've got a ton of testimonials. So that's what worked for me. That's what got me from 0 to something with as far as earnings. But then once you're comfortable, you can start getting into some of this other stuff like engineering your own authority and start doing, just experimenting, dabbling with things that are kind of fun ideas that you have. Like this little project right here was just for sheer fun and just so I could post and laugh about it and have my friends laugh about it too. Like there's nothing to gain financially from this. Although I did think about creating a service for, other marketers, friends of mine that, they're doing fine financially, but they have no interest in SEO, but maybe they want to rank their wife for like sexiest woman in their city or sexiest woman in their whole state. I thought about doing that. So that could be a fun little service that like they would probably gladly pay for just as a little happy to present to their wife or girlfriend. And, it would be super simple. And it's like the goal wouldn't be to make lots of money, but I bet it would, because it's just like a little funny gag gift and stuff. And the kinds of people that would buy that, they're not trying to get some kind of financial ROI, just try to probably make their spouse chuckle or something. So, there are even ways that you can monetize silly ideas like this, but, it's cool once you get to a place where you're making enough sustainable cash flow from a recipe or solution like this to where you can actually go out and take some fun risks and stuff to where it's like you don't need to make a financial positive ROI on it. But yeah, so hope you got some value out of this video. Thanks so much for checking it out and watching until the end, and I will see you in the next one.